Nobody's talking about this. And after you see the numbers, you'll understand why. 50 rabbits, 1 acre, more income than 10 acres of cattle. Stay with me for the next few minutes, and I'll show you the math, the buried history, and exactly how to start. Here's what's actually happening right now. Beef prices are up over 30% in the last 3 years. The average cattle operation in America runs at a loss for the first 5 to 7 years. And if you're sitting on anything under 50 acres thinking you can build a livestock income, every ranching forum, every ag extension office, every feed store guy has already told you the same thing: you don't have enough land. That's a lie. Or more precisely, it's a half-truth built to keep you dependent on industrial meat systems. Cattle are not the most efficient animal on your land. They never were. They're just the most marketed, the most subsidized, the most visible sign that someone made it in American agriculture. But profit, that's a very different conversation. And the numbers on rabbits will change the way you see every inch of your property. Here's something the commercial livestock industry will never tell you. Before feedlots, before USDA commodity programs, before the corporations wrote the playbook on how Americans raise meat, there was a different system, and it ran on rabbit. During World War I, the United States government published pamphlets encouraging every American family to raise rabbits. Not as a hobby, as a survival system. In 1918, the USDA called rabbit meat the most economical protein a family could produce, and documented households feeding themselves entirely off hutches the size of a garden shed. By World War II, the American Victory Garden movement had active rabbit programs running in 42 states. Families were pulling 60 to 80 pounds of meat a year off a single breeding doe. That knowledge didn't disappear after the war. It was quietly replaced by a commercial system that needed you buying from them, not producing for yourself. But the old farmers knew, and now you're going to know too. Here's the math, and this is where it gets real. One breeding doe will produce 6 to 8 litters per year, averaging 8 kits per litter. In 12 months, one healthy doe gives you 50 to 60 offspring. Run 50 does, and you're looking at 2,500 to 3,000 market weight animals annually from 1 acre. At 5 pounds dressed weight each, that's 12 to 15,000 pounds of meat per year. Now compare that to cattle. 10 acres at standard stocking rates carries 4 to 5 beef steers. 18 to 24 months to market. Roughly 2,500 pounds of usable meat per year and $8,000 to $12,000 gross, before feed, vet bills, and equipment costs that will shred your margin. Rabbit? A fraction of the feed cost, market-ready in 8 weeks, and specialty buyers, restaurants, and farmers markets paying $8 to $15 a pound for pasture-raised rabbit meat. The math is not even close. I didn't believe any of this at first. I had a quarter-acre behind my house and grocery bills climbing $40 every single week. I started with 6 rabbits in a borrowed hutch I patched with hardware cloth and scrap wood. By month 3, I had 47 rabbits and my first farmer's market sale, $80 in one morning. By month 8, I was clearing $400 a month net after feed. Here's the mistake I almost made, and the one I see kill most beginner operations. People grab whatever rabbit looks manageable at the farm store, mixed breeds, pet types. And they wonder why their feed conversion is terrible and their kits are undersized. You need a meat breed, New Zealand whites or Californians. That is non-negotiable. A proper meat breed converts 3 pounds of feed into 1 pound of meat. A random mixed breed might take twice that. That single ratio is the difference between a profitable operation and a money pit that burns you out in 90 days. Picture this a year from now. Same acre, or less. But instead of watching beef prices spike and feeling that quiet panic at the checkout, you've got a working system. 50 does producing on rotation, a chest freezer full of meat you raised, a farmer's market table, or a few restaurant accounts, bringing in real income every single week. That is not fantasy. Families are doing exactly this on less than a quarter acre in rural Kentucky, suburban Texas, and backyards across the Pacific Northwest. Drop a comment right now and tell me, do you have space for a rabbit colony today? I read every single comment, and I'll personally tell you whether your setup is workable. Subscribe if this opened your eyes. Next video, I'm breaking down the exact hutch build that costs under $200 and houses 50 rabbits year-round. This knowledge wasn't lost. It was buried. Now it's yours. What you do with it is up to you.